What's up, everyone? This is Don Suave. First and foremost, I'd like to appreciate everyone for viewing my video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also comment. Also hit that notification button below as well. Alright, let's get on with the show.
I'm so disrespectful. So disrespectful. I'm so disrespectful. So disrespectful. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Don Suave back with another one for y'all. So make sure to like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, broadcast of the 7 cities, and make sure also to subscribe to the podcast, So Disrespectful Radio Show. Now, before I start the show, here's a quote for my listeners right here. This comes from Khalil Gibran, and it says, "Progress lies not in enhancing what is, but in advancing towards what will be." Football season's here, y'all. Week 1 was crazy. A lot of surprises, a lot of really good surprises, and a lot of bad surprises, especially for people for fantasy. I'm looking at you right now, Joe Burrows. I'm looking at you right now, Lamar Jackson. You only gave me 5 points. I'm gonna need y'all to do better next week. I need to win my fantasy. So before we start with anything, we're gonna do a little recap of week 1. And then we got some stories that's going on as well because of week 1 that's going to lead into the next week. So first, we're going to start with this. Thursday night game, Lions versus the Chiefs. Remember I said, surprising. I'm pretty sure like no one really thought that the Chiefs was going to lose this game. But they did. The Lions, this ain't the same old Detroit Lions, y'all. This is a new Detroit Lions led by Dan Campbell. And they beat the Chiefs 21-20. Next game, Falcons and the Panthers. The Falcons beat the Panthers 24-10. Next game, Ravens and the Texans. This is DeMarco Ryans' first coaching job. And sadly, his first loss as well. Baltimore Ravens beat the Houston Texans 25-9. Next game, Browns and the Bengals. Now I've been saying since before the season, this is Deshaun Watson's first full term with the Browns. Last season he only had a few games, but this time with more time on his belt and more time being with the team, if this is the Deshaun Watson that we know for a couple years ago, that was one of the top best quarterbacks in the NFL, the Browns is going to be a real X-Factor team. And it showed. They beat the Bengals 24-3. Next, we have the defending AFC South champions, the Jacksonville Jaguars, taking on Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson's debut as the quarterback for the Colts. He did come with good things, but unfortunately, he didn't come with the win. Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Indianapolis Colts 31-21. Next, we have another game without Tom Brady at the quarterback hand for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Once again, another story. How are the Bucs now without TB12? Well, it showed. Hey, no TB12, that's okay. We got Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat Kirk Cousins' Minnesota Vikings 20-17. Next, we have a very, very close game with a new quarterback at the helm of the New Orleans Saints with Derek Carr. And the Tennessee Titans, they got a couple new pieces, but it proved to be not enough. The Saints beat the Titans 16-15. The next game, we thought better of this game. We thought this was going to be a knockout, one of the best games of the week. Apparently, Pittsburgh didn't get that memo because San Francisco came through and wanted to show everyone why they are the favorites to be in the Super Bowl. The San Francisco 49ers beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-7. Yeah, I said that right. 30-7. And honestly, the way the game looked, it should have been more. They were playing with their food. But they lost. And we'll see what Mike Tomlin was going to do. I talked to a couple of Steelers fans. They say they're going to be all right. There's a little, they're going to get things fixed with the cornerback, the linebacker. But San Francisco, they riding high. So ain't no reason to talk about that. Next is my team. For anybody who don't know what watched this for the first time, I'm a Washington Commanders fan. And I'm going to talk more about it later on in the Boardroom News, which is geared to Washington Commanders. But they beat the Arizona Cardinals 20-16 in Sam Howell's first official starting debut at quarterback for the Commanders. Next, and we're going to talk about this too, the Packers. The Packers without two Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a long time. No Brett Favre, no Aaron Rodgers. Now it's under Jordan Love. And while a lot of people had questions about Jordan Love, maybe this week he helped silence those questions. They beat the Chicago Bears, led by Justin Fields, 38-20. Yeah, I said that right. Next, the Raiders and the Broncos. Raiders with their new quarterback, Jimmy G. And Broncos with their new head coach, Sean Payton, former NFL coach who won the Super Bowl with the Saints. Would it prove to be different? Apparently not, because in this game, the Raiders beat the Broncos 17-16. Next game, which to me right now is number one best game so far of the NFL season. Of course, we got more weeks to come, but for right now, this game, it should be top money. Dolphins and the Chargers. Dolphins won that game 36-34. And I want to say a special thank you to Tyreek Hill for helping me with my fantasy, because by him playing and him them yards and the touchdowns gave me over 22 points in my fantasy. Thank you, Tyreek Hill, Mr. Cheetah. Next is the Eagles and the Patriots. Jalen Hurts, they show why they may be they up for that Super Bowl contenders as well. But the Patriots, they fought back. Could it be a time where Matt Jones getting it together? Belichick finally working? Yeah, they lost 25-20 to the Eagles, but in that game, the Patriots were looking like they may be a team on the up and coming again. Next is the Rams and the Seahawks. Rams, they showing why last season was maybe been a fluke. There was a lot of injuries. Now, when everybody getting healthy, Cooper Kupp was still hurt, but he's coming back as well. They showing why they was one of the best teams just a couple years ago. They beat the Seahawks 30-13. Now this game right here, Sunday night game, was just a pathetic game for one team. Honestly, they should have took it off the TV and put on Law and Order SVU. That's how bad it was. The Cowboys beat the Giants 40-0. You heard that right. The New York Giants, who just last year was looking at one of the best teams in NFC, who still has Saquon Barkley, who still have Danny Jones, who still have the other pieces, and actually got more pieces as well. But it seems like with the Cowboys, without Ezekiel Elliott, no problem, we got Tony Pollard. But it was the defense of the Cowboys who had Danny Jones looking like Danny Phantom, running around and disappearing a lot. So, even though it's the first week, we don't want to overhype stuff, because first week, first season, you got to get your thing in control. But the Giants better get things in control ASAP, because getting put a 40 on you and you scoring donut in the first week on a national broadcast television Sunday night game, yeah, you're going to have some questions to be answered later on. And lastly, we're going to talk about this too as well. The Jets, led by the newly acquired future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers, takes on the Buffalo Bills. And after 4 plays of the first quarter, that future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers done for the season. We're going to talk more about that too. But they came out. You know who came back to the quarterback for the Jets? Zach Wilson, the guy they wanted to get rid of, the guy they wanted to get traded. He comes in and wins the game. The New York Jets beat the heavily favored Buffalo Bills 22-16. And that was your recap of Week 1. Whew. Now we got that out the way. Like I said, we got a couple NFL stories as well that we want to talk about. First one, of course, is probably the most obvious one. Is this the end of Aaron Rodgers? Let me put it in perspective for y'all. It's 2005. George W. Bush is inaugurated for a second term. The first ever YouTube video is uploaded titled "Me at the Zoo." Boy, we love YouTube. Hurricane Katrina makes landfall along the U.S. Gulf Coast, causing severe damage, killing over 1,000 people and dealing in an estimated $108 billion in damage. It's 2005 too, and your boy just graduated from high school. At the same time, a college quarterback from California was selected in the first round at pick 24 to the Green Bay Packers. This guy was Aaron Rodgers. He sat behind another Hall of Famer, Brett Favre, for numerous years until he got shot when Brett Favre's first out of 20 retirements from the NFL started. 18 years with the Packers. He had a Hall of Fame career, Super Bowl champion and MVP, 4 times NFL MVP, 4 times first team All-Pro, 10-time Pro Bowl, NFL 2010's All-Decade Team, Bart Starr Award, Burt Bell Award, and Associated Press Athlete of the Year. You know, that's a little light work for him. So with that resume, he really doesn't have anything to prove except for the love of the game. Well, apparently, Favre left a lasting impression on Rodgers because just like Brett Favre, Rodgers signed with the New York Jets, which is a good sign because they have valuable pieces on both sides of the field. So of course, after months and months and months and months of overblown coverage of Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, Hard Knocks featuring the Jets on HBO, this was the highlights for 2023 Jets. Play the footage. I'll be right back.
At least they got him in the ankle.
Then there's another three-step, Pate. They're trying to get the ball out quick. The left tackle's cutting the ball, thinking the ball should be out on a quick game.
Holy. Hopefully they can go over there.
I'm just saying, man, 2K could be better if they only just do a couple few things. It's over? Yep. Sadly, after only 4 plays into the season, Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and with a torn Achilles, he is out for the season. And in comes Zach Wilson. You know, the QB they didn't want at all, but now must go back to him. So now that Rodgers is down for the season, what do you think will happen? Do you think he was still maybe think about retirement because his contract is fully guaranteed? Or do you think he will get healthy and come back next season in which he'll be 40 years old? Let me know down below. Next topic we're going to speak about is the Dallas Cowboys against the New York Giants game. It was a Cowboys score 40-0. This game was a beatdown, a whooping, torture, punishment.
Stop. We ain't.
Smacking, disrespected, done up,
And we come out.
knocked out, dragged across, stomped out.
Stop it! You say one more line, and I'm about to smoke myself.
Well, I'm just saying, Michael Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Stephen Gilmore, Dak Prescott, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, and
Hold up. Hey.
you're right. This is still the Cowboys. Now, I mean, I'm man enough to admit that, yeah, the Cowboys have a good squad on both sides. And they got some pieces to help. Once again, it's the Cowboys. And what I mean about that is, well, tell them, Steven.
Mediocre team and Big D. That's what makes this funny. How about the Cowboys? How about the Cowboys? Some way, somehow, when they count, just wait. They will let you will mess it up. Just wait. The accident, we will let you down. Just wait. The accident, the accident, the accident, waiting to happen. It will happen. I'm predicting they're gonna be irrelevant. I'm predicting an absolute embarrassment for the last decade and a half. They make me laugh. All the talent that they have is unbelievable, man. Big D, teasing you. This is what they do. Walking through weed show up on cue. Accident, something will go wrong. The accident of the big Jumbotron. Accident, gotta recognize it's a black cat running around that franchise. Say it with me. Accident, they will mess it up. Just wait. The accident, they will let you down. Just wait. The accident, the accident, the accident, waiting to happen. It will happen. How about the Cowboys?
Sorry. So just like people want to ask about my Commanders, I'll ask, what's going to be different this year? No Elliott, Gilmore added, Kellen Moore is gone, so y'all got a new coordinator. So the question that the Cowboys fans have asked for 20 years and will repeat continually, is this y'all year?
Well. Next question. See ya.
Now the last story we're going to touch on is the Green Bay Packers. So, like once again, Favre is gone. Rodgers is gone. And steps Jordan Love. And I got one question for him.
What's love got to do with it?
Well, a lot apparently. The Packers played against the Chicago Bears. And many people believe the Bears would beat the Packers, but Jordan Love's response to that was, in his first official start, Love threw for 27 passes, completed 15 for 245 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, with a QBR of 123.2. Not bad for his official start following a Hall of Famer. But with those numbers and a team behind him, could this be another dynasty QB for the Packers? Time will tell how Jordan does this year, and next week will be another test for him going against the Atlanta Falcons. Now I'm going to take a break. I've been talking too much. So when I come back, we're going to do the NFL predictions, and we're going to do this roundabout for NFL news. Stay tuned, everybody. For the people looking, you're looking at So Disrespectful. For the people listening, you're listening to So Disrespectful Radio Show. And I'm your host, Don Suave.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Do I love you? Do I lust for you? Am I a sinner because I do the two? Can you let me know? Right now, please. Benita Applebum.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. This is your host, Don Suave. So now we're going to look to week 2 of the NFL season. Week 1's in the books. It was a great week, especially for my Commanders. But now, like I said, we're going to get down to week 2. So, just to let you know, this past Thursday, the game between the Eagles and the Vikings. Now, even though the Eagles won that game 34-28, you ever heard the term of, well, we gave the game away? I think when Minnesota seen that quote, they said, hold my drink. We're going to make sure that quote comes for real. And they did. In that game, Minnesota fumbled the ball 4 times. You know, we always heard, especially playing football, ball security equals job security. Well, apparently security wasn't on their memo that day, losing the ball, fumbling 4 times. And because of that, and we're going to talk more about this on next episode, they're thinking about Kirk Cousins getting traded to the Jets because Aaron Rodgers got hurt. That's a little teaser for next week because That's a lot to impact for just that game, that statement, and what's going on with the Jets. That you want to trade for Kirk Cousins. Well, anyway, let's get back. So, since we got done with the Thursday night's game, Sunday, we got the Packers and the Falcons. Now, me personally, my predictions, I got Packers beating the Falcons. Next game, Raiders taking on the Bills. Now, even though Bills are still that team that many critics, people even think that they're going to be Super Bowl contenders, I don't know. You lost to Zach Wilson, for goodness sake. And Josh Allen looked like he had a bet for the Jets the way he played last week against the Jets. Hopefully he bounced back, but I'm going to pick the Raiders for this one. I just think they may challenge a lot of people's mindset when they think of that team. And with Josh Jacobs and Jimmy G, I just feel like the Raiders are going to win that one. Ravens and the Bengals. Okay, for this game, both of these players better play good. Both of these quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson's on my fantasy. He's starting. If you give me 5 points one more time, we're going to have a discussion. And I heard from a lot of other people that Joe Burrows gave them no points as well. So, I'm going to say that trend of Joe Burrows is going to continue. I'm picking the Ravens to beat the Bengals that game. Lions and the Seahawks. Remember what I said earlier? The Lions. This ain't the same Lions team as before. They're different. I feel like this. They may actually doing the turnaround, and I think it's going to continue. I think they're going to beat the Seahawks to go 2-0. Colts and the Texans. Like I said, Anthony Richardson, he looked like he got some spark to him last game against the Jags. We were just going against the Jags. But now you're going to get the Texans. And I feel like if you really want to make a statement about who the player you are, no offense, and DeMarco Ryans, the head coach of the Texans, I'm sorry, but I really feel like Anthony Richardson is going to show why he was the draft pick he was and we can do. So I'm picking the Colts over the Texans. The Chiefs and the Jags. We just got word that Travis Kelce is coming back. So now Patrick Mahomes got his favorite target back. With that being said, now they can actually help the offense of the Chiefs. Because now the defense of the Jags got to take a look into not only Pacheco, or his name is a running back. I know I probably butchered his name with a machete. But you always got to look at Kelce. And they still got receivers as well. And this is the time I feel like the defending champions may actually bounce back. So I'm picking the Chiefs over the Jags. The Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Chicago Bears. I know the Bucks beat the Vikings last week, and as we just seen, Eagles beat them because they seem to shoot themselves in their own foot. But it's the Bears, Justin Fields, and they just got dealt with by the Packers last Sunday, getting beat by 18. But I'm going with the Bucks. Baker Mayfield still got Mike Evans, and I just feel like that team is a little bit more intact than Chicago Bears. The Chargers and the Titans. Like you already said, like I said before, Chargers, that game against the Dolphins last week, anybody can win that game. That's one of the best games this season so far. That's probably the best game this season so far. And the Titans, well, I don't know. I don't trust the Titans. I don't trust the quarterback. And they got 3 on their squad: Tannehill, Will Levis, and Malik Willis. Now, the question is going to come, when is Will Levis going to get in the game? And it's sad because last season, the question was Malik Willis would get in the game. But when he got in the game, it seemed like nobody respected him, and he didn't do all that what people expected. So that comes to when Will Levis going to get in the game. And because of that, I'm picking the Chargers over the Titans. The Giants and the Cardinals. Now, let me tell y'all something. If you listen to this, you're probably thinking the Giants, you should pick Giants with ease. Cardinals players isn't not tanking. Management may be trying to tank, but if you look at the game against the Commanders, they were playing. They won't let just people us run them up and down the field. They won't let them get passes off. They won't let the offense go 3 and out all the time. Them boys were playing, and they're trying to win. So it's hard to say a team is tanking when you see they playing hard to win, and that's kind of unbalanced. So who I pick for this game? I know I might go against the grain, but I'm going to pick the Cardinals to beat the Giants. That 40-0 by the Cal, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that because, like I said, Dallas is a good team, but 40-0, and you was one of the best teams last season. I'm sorry, I don't trust y'all no more. Beat the Cardinals, I may give you a prize, but for this week, I'm picking the Cardinals over the Giants. 49ers and the Rams. The 49ers have beaten the Rams 8 times so far, back to back. And if you know the Rams did beat the Seahawks 30-13, I'm going with the Niners. The Niners seem like they are the team to beat in the NFC without question. So I'm going with the 49ers. Cowboys and the Jets. This is a Jets led by Zach Wilson, and we just seen Dallas put 40 on the Giants. So I'm picking the Cowboys to beat another New York team. No questions asked. Dolphins and the Patriots. Patriots, even though they look that they may have a statement against the Eagles, even though they lost, they look like they could be coming up. I feel like the Dolphins is going to win that division, the AFC East. I really feel like that's their division, and for that reason, I'm picking the Dolphins. The Saints and the Panthers. I don't trust the Panthers at all. I'm sorry, I really don't. I don't trust them at all. Even though they got Bryce Young, I don't trust them. And for that matter, I'm going with the Saints with Derek Carr. I mean, if y'all look at the mic'd up, Derek Carr commands that team. And the Browns and the Steelers. Now, even though I haven't heard so many Steelers fans, they say they're gonna be all right. You know, they feel like they feel like they're gonna beat the Browns. I'm picking the Browns. Like I said, if the Deshaun Watson plays like the Deshaun Watson that we knew just a few years ago, them Browns teams are going to challenge for the #1 side. And actually, before the season, I picked the Browns as an X factor to win that division. And so for that, I'm picking the Browns over the Steelers. And those are my NFL predictions for week 2. Now, that's the first part of this video for NFL news. So the second part of this video is for my Commander fans. If you want to listen, hey, I appreciate it. But this is for the Commanders. So I need all my Commander fans, all my Commander people to meet me in the ballroom, because that's where we're going. We're going right in there with the billboard present. We got snacks available, and we got drinks available, and we got windows as well to get some good breeze. So for right now, I'm gonna say thank you for listening to So Disrespectful radio show on podcast. Thank you for listening to So Disrespectful on YouTube. For now, we say peace, see you later, and for the rest of those, meet me in the boardroom.
I'm so disrespectful. So disrespectful. I'm so disrespectful. So disrespectful.